I'm about to do maybe the most dangerous thing you can do with a dog, but that we all need to be doing as early as possible. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it is. I'm going to take Aura out and do a little socialization session, and I'm going to show you how I do it. This is her, by the way, in the travel kennel. And no, I'm not being dramatic when I say socialization can be dangerous, because the reality is there's so much misinformation out there about how to safely and properly socialize. And what I'm doing right now is probably the hardest part for me, because we always get to our location and I sit for at least 5, maybe even 10, 15 minutes. Maybe I'll crack a window so she can start to hear, smell the sounds around before we exit the car. And it's hard for me because I just want to get out and get to the good stuff. Sitting in the car for a bit before we let them out, anytime we take them on an outing, starts to set the expectation that just because the car stopped doesn't mean something's going to happen. And this is good for overexcited dogs and anxious dogs. If your dog gets really eager or anxious in the car and they think, oh gosh, every time the car slows down or stops and they start barking or whining or anxiety starts to build, it can make the outing more difficult. Now we're going to head to the back and I'm going to let her out. But first, I'm going to put some high value treats in her snuffle mat. I also put a few easy ones on top, so when she gets out, she has something to look forward to instead of coming out and just looking at the big world around her. So we are kind of pawing to get out, which is good actually for her, because she can be worried. There she goes. She's like, yeah, we're coming out to work, which is what I want. Aura is a bit more worried than my other dog. So for me, my goal is right now building her confidence. Yes! I don't know if you heard that dog in the background, but every time I do, I reward. I don't know where I put my clicker. That would be nice to have right now. There it is. So anytime I hear a dog, which we did, good job with a little lip flick. Here you go. It's hard to do with a camera, huh? Here. Nice. And then what I do to kind of check in to see if she actually wants to come out, oh, well, you're choking me, is I ask her to come up. And this is how I know, because I got to lift her out, that she wants to come out, because she won't do this if she's worried. So let me put the camera down so I can put her down with 2 hands, and then I'll show you what that looks like. There we go. Nice. Good job. Want to shaky? Want to shake off? Yeah. There we go. Yes. Here we go. We got a barking dog. Nice. Up, up. Nice. Good. Okay, let's go back in. Good job. Good job. Okay. That didn't go as planned, but that is how training is. It's not about us and our goals. It's about them and what's best for them. Huh, Aura? So what you just saw was Aura got a little spooked. We're at a new park. There was a dog barking in the background. There were cars driving by. It was a lot. So that is why when we start at a new place, I always keep the door open in the car so she can always retreat to a safe space. And then what we look for is a recovery. So you can see she's looking around, a little lip flicking or lip licking. Yes, good job. And this is totally fine. I mean, she's almost 6 months old at this point and definitely entering, I think, a little bit of that wary fear stage. And Aura, just like her mom was, is a little bit more worried and suspicious. She's kind of always been that way. A big part of nervousness, worried, lack of confidence, reactivity, things like that can be genetic. And there's so many other things that go into it, but we're not going to label her. She is Aura and she is beautiful and brave. And today is kind of one of those days that we are not going to push it to go explore this beautiful park. We're going to explore her treats in the snuffle mat. Too many people think that socialization means our dogs should be meeting other people and other pets, when the reality is that is a very, very, very tiny portion of socialization, if at all. And I get it, it's confusing. There's the word social in it. But what it really means, based on my experience and learning from experts, science-based trainers in the field, is that socialization is helping our dogs learn how to be appropriately social in a world not built for them. Meaning, how can we help them learn to make the outside world background noise? So things like children crying or cars or other dogs barking are not causing a reaction. How do we help our dogs become neutral in any environment, even if it's brand new to our dog? And the way that we do that is giving them exposure and experience in new variety of places at a distance so far away that they're not having any reactions before we get any closer, for very short intervals, making sure that the only outcome are positive feelings. then what we're doing is we're helping to change or create a positive emotional response for our dogs when they enter new environments or have new things or novel things happen to them. They start to learn, oh, if something is unfamiliar to me or new or a little alarming, I don't need to overreact and get over worried because mom or dad is going to advocate for me, take care of me. And I have the confidence, I have the ability to know what decisions and what things I can do to help calm myself down. And this is why I do not take my dogs to dog parks, doggy daycares. I never do on-leash greetings. Those are some of the biggest mistakes I see and that I have done in the past. So I do not judge you if you do these things, but they're way too high risk. And sometimes for some dogs, all it takes is one really bad interaction with another person or a kid or a dog for it to have a lasting impact on them for the rest of their life, which is why socialization can be dangerous because, and I don't want to scare you from it, but I just want you to be aware so you don't make the mistakes that I did. And this is why I am so intentional about socialization, because I've made the mistakes and I don't want you to make those same mistakes. It's why I work with professionals. And it's one of the more important skills, especially with young puppies, because it helps build their confidence for everything else in them. And I'm actually glad this happened because old me would have felt kind of discouraged, like, well, crud, I really wanted to come out and show you how much she likes to explore places, and that didn't happen that way. And I could sit here and try to force her and redo it again. But the thing is I risk putting her over threshold. I risk her having a lasting negative experience that will impact her in the future, all just because I feel like that's a checkbox I need to get to. And that's why, yes, good job. There's people in the distance, so we're going to reward that. Hi, always training, right? And that's why I said socialization could be a bit dangerous because we have our egos as humans. I do as well, where we kind of just want to get to the next level and have our dog do the things that we want them to do, not always considering that they are unique sentient beings with their own feelings and emotions and their own baggage, regardless of how old they are. So that's what we're working with. And I want her to know, no matter what, she can always retreat. There's always a safe space. The car is that for her. I am that for her. Hi, see, now she's kind of wanting to come back out. She's kind of like, oh, do you want up? Yep. And so this is her way of saying I want up. So what do you think I'm going to do next? Do you think that I'm going to let her out and go explore again? What do you think? Comment below before I tell you and show you what we're going to do. She's like, I'm ready, mama. I'm brave and I want to try again. We're not. I'm always leaving these socialization sessions on a good note. I'm always cutting them shorter than I think it needs to be. I think the longest one I've ever done has been like 20 minutes door to door because I want her leaving on a positive note and always wanting more, quality over quantity. And again, I'm working with professionals. Yeah, yes, I am. And I send them videos of how she's doing and look at her. Yes, good girl. See, she's definitely is a little, she's going to probably always be a bit on the worried side. Here. She's like, what are you doing, Mom? How stinking cute is she? Now, if you want to learn more about crate training, potty training, click the video up here. We're going to end on a good note. And if you want to learn more about the foods that I feed my dogs, click the video right here. And I hope you have, don't forget to subscribe. A beautiful day. Goodbye.